God damn. What's up, boys? Making this video today, I'm gonna kind of ramble. I just had the need to make this video. But, killed the 3 o'clock wake up. Went straight to work today. Got hella sets and sales with door to door. Made some content. And, now I'm here. And where I'm at currently is this little spot. I made a video here before, like 7 months ago. But this spot, 1 year ago today, when I fully went in on developing myself and going all in on changing my life, this exact spot is where I would be each day. At the end of my day, what I'd do here is I'd sit in this spot looking at the view, looking at the river, sitting in nature, and I would think of my future, and I would think of changing my life, and I would sit here and I would read the Bible, I'd read personal developing books, I'd read books on, sales, on things that I want to learn and things I want to become. I'd read books about that, but I'd also meditate and manifest, the life that I desire, and think about changing my life. And the topic of this video, even though I said I'm going to ramble, is the pain of regret is more painful than what it takes, to change your life. It's more painful than the discipline. And 1 year ago today, I had so much pain, but before that, I wanted to change my life so bad. I was 17. I was still smoking. I was still doing all drugs, still hanging around the bad people, still fucking around with hoes, still being lustful, still being, a degenerate. But I knew the potential I had. I knew what I could become, and I knew, that I'm destined for more, and that this is not the life that I want. And I had that in my mind for years. I knew I needed to change my life. I knew that I needed to do something different because this is not what I liked. And I had mental health issues, and I was depressed. I was sad. I was tired of life. I wanted to take my life. I wanted to just run away, and that's why I did so much shit in vain. That's why I did so much drugs. That's why I consumed myself with, the fleshly desires, because the life I was living, I wasn't truly living. I wasn't truly being who I want to be, and I wasn't creating the life I desire. That's why I was running away from it so much. That's why I wanted to end my life. It's because, my life had become something that I was disgusted by. And, during this time, during all that bullshit, one of my friends took his own life. And I remember before he did that, I had the thoughts of me doing the same, and, wondering when I would do it, And my friend took his life. And that broke me. And that made me, I was down for months, and I thought I was not going to make it out. And I thought I was not going to make it. But it made me realize how precious that this life is. It made me realize how quick it can be taken away. How, losing someone, or if I killed myself, how it would affect the people around me. And it just brought awareness. It's just like, bro, this life is truly a blessing. And no matter what time, when people and things in life can be taken away just like that. And that's what brings beauty to life, is that nothing is permanent, and you don't know when things are going to go away. But he took his life. I was down bad, but I was already on my self-improvement journey. I was jacked, I was in the gym, but I still had my vices. I still lived the wrong way. I still had a bad mindset. But after he took his life, and after a few months, I was just like, it's time to go all in. It's time to change my life. It's time to motivate myself and become the best self I can be, so I can get people out of that, out of that way of living, out of that mindset, and change people's lives. Because I was in the exact same position as my friend, and I felt like, if I was the person I am right now, and I was the leader, and I was the example, and I was the motivator, and I was the person bringing people up, that would not happen. But I wasn't that person at the time. We were only feeding into our bad habits together. We were only, worsening our mindset by talking about, suicide or wanting to die together. I wasn't the person I should have been. And that's when I went all in on myself. Is I wanted to change people's lives, and I wanted to get people out of that mindset, and I wanted, to wake people up and better themselves through fitness and through developing your mind. Because that's what I did. I went all in on myself. I was obsessed with becoming the best I can be and strengthening my mind, so I can give myself to the world, so I can show and I can motivate others, so I can, make an impact on this world. Because, mental health, depression, suicide, that's a big thing that's going on in life. And I feel like, there's not a lot of people who are good leaders and good influences to get people out of, that low vibrational life, the vibrational life of doing drugs all the time, sinning, not living right. I want to be that influence on people, because I was in the exact same position. I was in the exact same position as you, whoever's watching this. I get it. And I had so much pain. And since I had so much pain, I had to run from it. And since I was running from pain but also chasing a goal, I developed so quick. But this spot is where I would be each day, researching, developing myself, getting in tune with God. I'd always pray here. I'd always read books to develop myself. And each day I was obsessed with changing my life and being the best that I could be. I'm doing pretty fucking good, but I am nowhere where I want to be. And there's always people saying, Tristan, you're too fucking young. Enjoy your life. You don't need to work as hard. It's like, no, this is what I want. I wake up at 3 o'clock each day. I train intensely. I train to the best I can. I want to be the best. So I'm going to put in the steps to be the best. I remember just looking at this view each day, sunset, sunrise, talking to God, asking him, for guidance and for strength. And that's another thing, get spiritual, talk to God. God's like the one reason I got out of that rut, out of the way of living, was getting closer with him and talking to him. Because he just opened my eyes. He just woke me up. He helped me. And he helped me become the person I am today. 1 year ago today, I was in the exact same position as you. Doing drugs, feeling bad, no confidence, sinning, not enjoying life, to now excited and hungry to become the best I can, to live out the day to the fullest. Wake up 3 o'clock each day. Go hit the gym and train intensely with passion and wanting to build the best body. And since I'm building the best body, I'm building the best mind. And with the best mind, I'm able to create anything that I desire. I had no motivation, no ambition. Now each day I'm working multiple hours from 3 o'clock all the way to sunset, because I'm going to build the life that I desire, and I'm going to transform people. I'm going to change people's lives, and I'm going to make an impact on this world. But the pain of regret is more painful than what it takes to change. Say right now, I didn't do any of the things. I didn't develop myself. I didn't change my life, and I stayed the same. I would be so mad and pissed and have so much regret, because I know I in 1 year ago today, I envisioned where I'm at currently, and I saw it and I brought it to fruition. But if I didn't bring it to fruition, when I know what I can be and know what I can do and know how hard I can push myself, that's more painful than what it took for me to change and for me to develop. People all the time will talk about their goals. They're like, oh, I need to change. Oh, I want to become so good at this. I want to get that. I want to drive this. But they don't do anything different. And years down the line, they're going to look back and they're like, I could have been great. These years go by so fast. I feel like as we get older, the years just, like, time just moves faster and faster. But you're going to look back and think, and you're like, I wasted so much time. I wasted so much potential. And I didn't, do what I dreamt of. I didn't become what I knew I could have been. And I think that's the most painful thing in life, is knowing you could have got something, been something, or done something, and you don't do it. As I said, nothing is promised. Not even today is promised, not even tomorrow. And if you don't act on what you need to act on, and you don't do what you need to do, you don't know, you could have a life event happen where you lose your life, and your life ends like that, where you didn't even get to see any ounce of your potential. You didn't get to see the life that you want. And I think life is all about, making your dream life. Everything you see in your head, your brain does not think of these things unless it is attainable. And since it's attainable, and since you're drawn to it, you are destined to get it and bring it and live it out. But you're not going to be able to do that if you stay the same, and if you're scared of change, if you're scared of the pain. Pain is what changes us. The pain of my friend dying was so much pain, but within that pain, it brought so much light and so much beauty to life. But that pain motivated me so much. I also had pain of looking at myself and being like, what the fuck have I become? I know what I could have been, I know what I could be, but look at where I am right now. That's pain, and that pain is the greatest motivator for men, because fuck being average, fuck being a fucking normal person, fuck being something that you don't want to be. Look at yourself right now. You know you want to change. You know you want to be different. You know you want to change your life. So why are you not doing it? What are you afraid of? You should be more afraid of staying the same, because if you're not growing, you are dying. If you are not growing, you are dying. You are staying the same. And you know what the definition of insanity is? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a new result. These people always talk to me saying, oh, I'm gonna get rich. Yeah, I'm gonna get that nice ass car. I can't wait till we're, driving it together. I can't wait till I'm fucking up and I get everything I want. But I look at them and I see that no habits have changed. Their mindset hasn't changed. Their work ethic hasn't changed. And, they're going to go insane because they're doing the same thing and expecting something new to come from it. You should know that you're not going to get what you want because of where you are. Because where you are right now is, it's an accumulation of all the habits and all the choices you've made. And if you don't like where you are right now, that means you need to change your habits, because your habits and what you've done is what has gotten you into this position. It is what has made you you. And if you don't like where you currently are, you need to change. You need to do things different. You need to think differently. You need to move differently. You need to be obsessed with creating that life that you desire. Whatever you believe in your mind becomes true, and if you believe that you can win and you believe that you can attain what you want to attain, promise you, you will get it. You will get it, and you'll be so fucking glad that you put the work in. So fucking glad. But I think that's all I got for y'all. Just remember, I was in the same position as y'all, and let me tell you, I do not regret all the pain and all the hard work and all the sleepless nights and all the fucking tears and all the times I've talked to God and all the times I cried and all the pain I felt. I do not regret any of it, because I love where I am right now and I love where I'm headed. But I would have regretted and had so much pain if I didn't make that first step and if I didn't change. I'm proud of my younger self for doing what he should have done, doing what I should have done. But the pain of regret is more painful than what it takes to change. Hope you enjoyed this video. No one's gonna do it for you. It's you for you.